Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back. First of all, if you would like to support me and the channel, my PayPal will be in the description, so thank you very much, guys. Welcome back to Anime King 2, and I'm back with part 4 of What If Naruto Was Ruthless with the 6 eyes and Limitless Technique. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels if you're new. Yes, that is correct. I indeed have 3 more channels, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. And if you have your own idea, whether it be a series or a movie, simply go ahead and list it down in the comment and I'll jot it down for future use. So without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we jump right into this brand new episode? Let us begin now, guys. So, the last part that we left off, Kakashi Hatake saw him and called his name as he wanted to see if it was indeed him, because Naruto knew who he was very well. We then got an insight to Naruto, learning about his parents through their memories when the Kuritan awakened inside of him, and the fox becoming a spiritual curse energy beast. We got to see what the changes were with that, and how Naruto knew who Kakashi was. The younger members of Team 7, Sasuke, Uchiha, Sai, and Sakura, found themselves gazing up towards the 16-year-old Naruto. As Naruto looked down towards them, they could feel an oppressive force coming from him, not to mention with him just brutally crushing Gato and cleaning the blood off his hands. He looked quite dangerous, but he wasn't here to harm any of them. The rumors had been circulating. Zabuza was quite aware of who Naruto was, a very stupid individual who would be dead soon. After all, he killed the daimyo of the Land of Lightning. It has never been done before. A dignitary, yes, squabbles in the past, but walking into a daimyo's palace and erasing the entire family was something that never happened before. If he did not die, the Land of Lightning, Kumo, would seem like they were nothing but a bunch of weaklings. And they wouldn't allow that to happen, so they would be using everything at their disposal to end his life. They were coming for him. Kakashi Hatake tried to convince Naruto to return. As Naruto got angry, why would he return to a place that sold him out? The memories were there after all, being carried away, hearing the ones that kidnapped him speaking. As the village had paid for it, the villagers made a move to get rid of him. They left him for dead, and because of that action his life was drastically changed. Kakashi decided to take the wise choice and not try to physically stop Naruto. It was a good thing that he did not, as Naruto personality complete change when Iniri thanked him for saving him and his mother. He was so different from a moment ago, it was unusual. But Kakashi was right though. The bounty that was placed on Naruto's head got people coming out of the woodwork. A man known as a Reaper possessing a very specialized hologramic Keki Genkai. Unfortunately for him though, Naruto was beyond everything that he had, as Naruto ripped him to shreds, literally compressing him and destroying him. Returning back to the village, Hiruzen was aware of everything. Hearing that, Jiraiya was already on a trail to find Naruto, as Harrison knew that Naruto would not come back. Willingly, that is, and if indeed they did brought him back, it would start a chain of events that would lead to another world war. The option was clear, but you had people like Danzo Shimura pushing for the retrieval of the Nine Tails, because Konoha was lacking their power. After a couple of weeks, we find Jiraiya finally coming across Naruto. He found him. However, he found Naruto saving a bunch of kids. The Sannin rushed in to help. They would talk later, but for now, Naruto got the kids to safety. He found the one that was masterminding behind all of this. Naruto crushed him with the Limitless, pressing the man into the wall until he was nothing but paste. Naruto was hunting for someone else. This person had no initial, this person was a ghost, but he was closer to finding them. They were big on the children trafficking market, and Naruto indeed wanted to put a stop to them. The Sannin show no attempt to try and take Naruto because, as they spoke, he realized that Naruto's actions were good. Jiraiya had done some investigating. He went deep, very deep, and learned what the daimyo and his people were wrapped up in, what the whole family was about. All the people that Naruto had taken out in gruesome ways, but they were monsters in the shadows. Naruto brought the man to a place. Jiraiya was able to see the good that Naruto has done. He spoke to the caretaker there was a lot of them. Naruto took every ounce of money that all of these wicked people possessed, got to all of them, and used it to fund the entire city here. The place was big. Yes. Multiple children that had no home, that had no parents. They were all given a life, given a choice, given a chance to make something of themselves. And it was all because of him. He did not even take credit. His name was not even involved, he was just there behind the scenes. The Sannin was truly shocked. However, he now had a way to get in contact with Naruto. However, back in the village, a meeting was called about him. Things were getting bad, yes, very bad, as Jiraiya also learned that Kumo was manning their forces. They were going to scour the world to make an example out of him because no one messed with Kumo and survived. The Sannin had to get back to tell Naruto what was going on. This was getting bad, extremely so. They were going to come after him in drones. While that was going on, though, Naruto finally found it, the link that he was missing. This person had laid a document to ensure that the one that was behind the attack would never betray him. His name was Danzo Shimura. Actually, a ninja from Konoha in the past. He was old now, but he was behind one of the large trafficking rings. Visiting the village once again did not sit well with him, given his past, but Danzo Shimura must die. And there was absolutely nothing in this world that could stop Naruto from taking the man down. Absolutely nothing. A team attacked Naruto from Kumo, a team led by the two-tailed Nibijin Juliki. Not only did Naruto spare her life, he saved her when an explosion almost blew her to pieces. But she wasn't powerful enough to stop him. She couldn't understand this person. He was supposed to be the enemy. Why spare her? She had no idea. As Naruto ventured off his next destination, Konoha. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the place to yourselves to be in this new episode. She spun around as her feet slammed through solid stone. She weaved out of the way, dodging the projectiles. As she was within the training simulation, she flipped, showing her agility. She landed and twisted, dodging every weapon sent her way. She saw the others moving towards her as she plunged her fists through their chests. Blue flames ignited across her hands, burning out their inside. Considering that they were made from wood, they immediately turned into dust. She pulled back, taking a breath. Her name was Yugito. Yugito of Kumo. otherwise known as the Jinchuriki of the Two Tails. It haunted her. She was humiliated. Not only did he best her while she was transformed, he saved her, he spared her life. Her pride had been shattered right there. She was a very prideful person. It was hard, extremely hard being a Jinchuriki. People might say just because the village was nicer now to them than when they were younger, it was okay, but it was hard. She had to fight back so much emotions. She prided herself on always being prepared, always being ready, always getting the job done. When her team came across him, she believed that they had it. But he single-handedly eviscerated her team and bested her while transformed. It was humiliating. Her pride had been shattered. She was angry, throwing herself into training to get stronger, so that when they indeed meet again, she would crush him. She could see the eyes, despite their words being cheerful that she was alive. That was more worse than they thought. She was alive because he wanted her to be alive, because he decided that she wasn't worth killing. It didn't matter how nice he made it seem. She was looked down upon, something that she hated, despised due to her past. She would never allow that to happen again. The worst part about it wasn't just an insult on her name. It was an insult on Kumo, the single man that was able to step within their capital and kill their daimyo and his entire family, and they could not do jack shit about it. And she had him and she failed to take him down. She could see the disappointment in the Raikage eyes, and she hated it. She couldn't sleep, she couldn't eat. It was becoming an obsession. She could see their eyes, paranoia taking over with rage of being looked down upon, as others tried to tell her that it was enough. She didn't have to push herself so much. She did not listen as she continued training. The next time they meet, she will take his head, and there was no doubt about that. As she returned back to training, at the village, Jiraiya was currently there. Hiruzen wanted Jiraiya to stay. Their conversation about Naruto in private made Hiruzen realize that Naruto wasn't a bad person. Jiraiya confirmed it. All the things that he did, all the people that he killed, the things that they were involved in was horrendous. But to the public eye, Naruto was a monster. But Jiraiya couldn't understand him. He seemed to not care. Jiraiya did not know what motivated him. He did not know his reasons. Yes, he was doing something good, but everyone had a trigger. He spoke about being betrayed by Konoha. They had no idea who was the one that assigned the outside forces to kidnap him. Otherwise, that person would not be living peacefully right now. Danzo Shimura was trying to push the etiquette that they need to retrieve the Nine Tails. And recently, one of Konoha allies got into a squabble with Kumo. This might seem calm and small, but it has some very damning effect. People started to mock Kumo due to their weakness. And there was a statement that was made in a neutral village, which ended with a ninja of Konoha ally in the hospital. And this was bad. Kumo ninjas were feeling threatened, their pride on the line, their strength. Lashing out would make them seem stronger. This was a normal human behavior, but in these uncertain times, things are not that easy. Not at all. They had to monitor the situation so things does not unravel. Naruto's one little action, well, it's not little, has caused some drastic events that was going to change everything. And not to mention, the news started to spread that he was a holder of the Nine Tails. The moment Jiraiya got that, he told Hiruzen. You could see the dread on the Hokage's face. At Kumo, The Raikage read the report of who this person was finally. They had some information. He crushed it in his hand. One word. Konoha, he said. The Raikage was paranoid, believing things that weren't quite real. In his mind, the thought that Konoha was actually the one behind this. It was trickery. He wasn't any missing nin, he was a part of the village. Rumors spread across the elemental nation until they reached to the land of rain. They were not ready for their attack just yet, but they had failed to monitor the Nine Tails. Knowing that he was older than this generation, he wouldn't be amongst them. He was 16 years old. He should be, the others were 13 to 12 years old. Standing, gazing out towards the rain, his eyes, powerful, godly. The leader of the organization known as the Akatsuki, Pain, the harbinger of it. Walking behind him, his faithful friend, Konan. We have information about the Nine Tails Jinchuriki, she said, as he turned to face her. Back at the village, Jiraiya, Hiruzen told him to stay behind, as the Chunin exams was going to be playing through anytime now. And things as the way they are might be more dangerous than anyone believe. With the news now out there about who he was, they had to be prepared for anything at all. Time skip. Naruto was gazing out to the horizon. Konoha, not too far away. Suddenly, black smoke started to leave his body as Naruto was enveloped. Appearing in front of him was the Nine Tails. The Keraton turning the beast into something beyond what it formerly was. It was now part chakra, part curse energy. Cursed chakra beast, the first of its kind. It was different in every single way. Its body was made of smoke, constantly shifting, constantly folding in on itself. The 6 point in its eyes may be a representative of Naruto's 6 eyes. Its face looking similar and yet so different. As Naruto gazed up towards the cursed spiritual beast, no longer flesh and chakra, it looked down towards him, seemingly amused. The black smoke curling in and out, twisting and revolving around it. It opened its mouth, showing razor-sharp teeth. They seemed to be endless, truly endless. The mouth stretched unusually wide as it looked at Naruto, almost like it wanted to devour him. It seemed to take some sick twisted pleasure out of terrifying Naruto. When he was younger, it usually shifted its face, becoming a multiple eye monster that scared his nightmares. But now, Naruto wasn't afraid anymore. No longer. As for its 9 tails, it still had them, but they were overlapping against one another like tentacles, mixing and turning with each other and combining into one. Naruto was the only one that could see it. No one else. As it was connected to him. It wasn't outside, it was just playing on Naruto's mind. After all these years, back to the place that started it all. Or should I say, the people that started it all. You claim that you're only here for one, Danzo Chimera. But shouldn't thousands of others be on your list? The ones who scorn you, the ones who hated you, threw trash at you, overcharge you, call you names. Shouldn't they be tasting your blade? Shouldn't you be drenched in their blood? The Nine-Tailed questioned Naruto. Naruto did not understand the fox all too well. It seemed to want to push his darkest advances, but Naruto was stronger, his will able to overcome those thoughts. It smiled towards him. Can't answer me. Too afraid of what the answer might be. After all, you don't even know who you are. Who are you, truly? Without the lies of being a hero. He questioned your code of protecting children. Without that, who exactly are you, Naruto Uzumaki? What exactly are you? It curled around Naruto and settled right above his head. I'll be watching constantly. It fused back into his system, vanishing away. Naruto tended to ignore it most of the times. Sometimes it got to him and he replied, but most of the times he ignored it because there were certain questions that he really could not answer. As Naruto vanished away. Time skip. Naruto stood within the cemetery, gazing towards the name of his parents, etched within the stone. As he stood there, he wondered what kind of life would he have had if they had survived. What would he be doing by now? He would perhaps be a jonin of Konoha, following the rules, keeping in check, protecting those around him. However, personally, he had no one that was truly close to him to protect. There was no one that close to him that he personally protected. Yes, the children. That was a necessity. Because none of them deserved the same treatment that him and many others went through. However, he had no personal people within his life. He oftenly thought about that a lot. But the path that he was on right now, he couldn't afford to have anyone close. Because they might get hurt. And as powerful as Naruto was, he couldn't handle it. Yes. He might be extremely powerful physically, but in many ways mentally he was weak. Not in terms of mind manipulation. No one could truly breach his mind. But in terms of loss, the loss of her affected him greatly. Yes, truly so. It made him wonder if he could ever had someone in his life, especially the life that he's chosen, because they would become a target as well, and what then? What would happen if something happened to them? Would he truly give in to the cursed beast? Would he truly step away from the shadow of the light that has been keeping him to protect the innocent? Would he truly step beyond darkness itself and become everything that he hates? And a part of him was terribly afraid of that thought. So those were some of the questions that he was afraid to answer. Disguise. Not an illusion, a true disguise that would not easily break. Naruto was inside of Konoha. The Chunin exam finals were coming around. That was going to be perfect, Naruto thought to himself. Time skip. Naruto had to say, this village security was really weak. No one has the strongest village, and yet he has been here for a couple of days now, and yet there has been no sign of anything catching on to him being here. He was disappointed. Then again, it could be due to the influx of people entering the village because of the finals of the Chunin exams. But that still wasn't no excuse after all. This would be the perfect time to launch an attack with all the random ninjas entering. Naruto had scouted out the position for days now, and he had a concrete idea exactly where to find the man. He wasn't sure what he was up to, but not coming to even view the Chunin exams as one of the three elders of the village seemed rather suspicious. Naruto ventured down. As the exam was taking place, he could hear from this location as he made his way deep underground. The place was well mapped out. There were several people that was located inside. It seems that majority of them were not here, due to the rather, well, concrete operation that he seemed to be running. Naruto doubt that the number was this few, but it was still a hefty amount, more than a platoon. Naruto did not hide himself as he stepped within the darkness. They already knew that he was here, and Naruto was quite aware and okay with that. Finally, arriving towards a large open area where there was a massive bridge that stretched from one side to another. At the end of it was a throne. He was seated there. Spirals that led to many sections. They were truly deep underground. The spirals led all over. The root Anvus was on top of these spirals, looking down towards them. The moment Naruto stepped through the door, Danzo Shamura was waiting for him. As Naruto stepped towards the man, Danzo had to say he was surprised. Danzo was the one who spread the information about who Naruto was. It could do two things. Force the boy to return back to the village, where they could take the power away from him. Force him to flee as he's hunted, where Danzo would have his man held him and take the power from him. And while that was going on, the world would be thrown into chaos. Kumo would blame them, and Danzo was looking forward to that. Just another reason for him to take control by showing the others that Hiruzen was weak. And with control, he would crush Kumo and go on to crush the other nations and become number one, the true way Konoha was supposed to lead. As much as he detests the Uchihas, Madara Uchiha ideology was the only way. There was no questioning. The other nations should simply bow to the might of Konoha. But he wasn't expecting this. More or less, the boy to find him. Now this was truly surprising. He had to say. He made it very well known. Do you know why I'm here, Naruto questioned. Danzo truly did not know if it was for the same reason, but he played it cool and calculated as he looked towards Naruto. I have to say, I've come across a lot of monsters in my time, said Naruto. I've dealt with a lot of horrible people. But you, I was able to get some information on the things that you've done. Not just the children, innocent people. And I think the world would be better off if you don't exist anymore. So that's it, Danzo said. You've become a righteous individual, fighting for the common man. Do you have any idea how much more powerful you would be if you simply join Konoha once again? With your power, all of this will go away. Kumo would not dare to touch you. We will strike them down. You would have the backing of the entire village. Your power will make us great, and we in return will offer you protection. And what if I say no? I'm afraid it's not a question, Danzo said. It is a gift, a chance for you to come peacefully. Because if not, I would simply take what I desire. You might have grown strong, but you are nothing in front of me and the power at my disposal. So I will give you one last chance. Naruto started to chuckle. I wonder how much money I would have if I get paid every time people underestimate me. Believe in that. It is their way or death. I'm truly curious. You don't seem to truly understand, Danzo. What is going to happen here today? Well, let me show you, Danzo said. Take him down. Danzo, accomplice Fu, stepped up. His hands already prepared as he sent. His mind transferred towards Naruto, trying to control him. And it was successful as Fu's body went down Torun, grabbing him. Of course they knew about the 9 tails, so they were prepared. The mind transfer jutsu, you had different stages of it. Entering one mind and entering one subconscious is two different things. In terms of the Yamanaka clan, Fu was truly special within the art, able to isolate the mind, the brain function, allowing his opponents to collapse despite the state of their power. Unfortunate for him though, Naruto wasn't your average opponent. Fu threw his head back and screamed. Torun tried to aid him, but nothing was working as he kept on screaming until he passed out. Torun was shocked though as he checked him. He was gone. Naruto reached up and pulled down the blindfold, exposing his eyes. You think you can take my mind? A rather stupid mistake. Take him down now, Danzo said. The root ninjas descended upon Naruto. Time slowed down as Naruto saw all of them, every aspect their movements. He vanished, dodging strikes and weaving through the crowd. Danzo started to undo the restraints on his arm, watching as this thing cleaved through his people. They heard the blade being unsheathed as Naruto blade, surrounding with the Kuriton energy. He released a slash that tore through 3 root operatives, their bodies falling straight down. Naruto weaved under a punch and cracked the elbow, breaking the arm as he flipped the ninja using his body. It was turned into a pin cushion. He threw him to the others. The excess energy that Naruto built up on his chest exploded, swallowing that section of the bridge. The whole thing started to collapse as Naruto jumped from spiral to spiral, fighting within mid-air, leaping and running on the walls. One after another, their bodies fell. Danzo undid the brace as he jumped on top of his throne. It wasn't on the bridge. He stood there. Despite his old state, he was quite a rather flexible individual. Torun removed his shirt, his skin turning purple as Naruto landed. Torun ducked under the blade and weaved to the side. He tried to touch Naruto. However, Naruto pulled back, dodging his hand and swiping it off. Torun screamed out in pain. The slash was so fast not even Danzo number 2 was able to react to it. They were his guards. Naruto then backhanded Torun away. Danzo saw that, knowing that it was over for him. Seeing that he touched him, Danzo smirked. You might be strong, however. In a few minutes you're going to be dead. Naruto looked up to face the man. Danzo jumped down, a few feet away from Naruto. There is no point in fighting you, he said, as he lowered his sleeve. Why don't you go and have a look at your hand? My hand? You mean this? Naruto said, raising his hand. Danzo was confused. What the? He was yanked towards Naruto. Naruto grabbed his throat. As he pulled him closer, I am not touched, unless I want to be. Danzo received over 15 punches straight to the chest that had him spewing out blood. Naruto grabbed his arm and pulled him before crushing his head into the pavement. The man was battering on the ground, blood leaking from his skull. Naruto raised his hand as his blade was yanked towards him. As I said before, trash like you don't belong in this world. Naruto drive the blade down, ending the life of Danzo Shimura. The kunai that was there did not touch him though. Yes, a weapon, courtesy of Danzo. Who was behind him? It seems you do have some trick up your sleeve. Well, I'm not surprised given how old you are, said Naruto. Naruto turned. Danzo jumped away, but The blue energy pulled him backwards as the red energy exploded outwards, ripping into him as Naruto turned and slashed, splitting him in two. Danzo reappeared once again, this time spewing wind energy on two shurikens as he launched them. Naruto ran forward and stabbed his blade through one, before he pushed his finger through the other, the Kurton energy coursing through his hands. Naruto grabbed the both of them and infused them with his own power. You could see the dark purple energy. The twisting of the both of them got so fast that the space around them started to bend. Naruto launched them in the opposite direction before he attracted the space between them and pulled at the same time. The space folded in on itself, allowing the techniques to blink away and reappear and split Danzo into 4 pieces. Naruto watched as he vanished once again. Danzo reappeared, looking rather shocked at his death. As Naruto saw it, the arm and the eyes. Naruto dashed in once again. Another life ended. Naruto smirked to himself. I see now, he said. Danzo started to panic, pulling out every trick in the book. Unfortunately for him though, he couldn't get through. Until he saw Naruto started to dodge. The time was up. Danzo smirked as he summoned a massive creature that started to inhale everything. You like to suck, huh? Let's see you suck this, said Naruto. This spear bloom. Naruto spawned cursed energy flowers that filled the entire place. The strange purple flowers were absorbed by the massive creature, and the moment it was absorbed, the space that it was absorbing could not contain it. Danzo watched as the thing started to swell and swell, the space inside of it being compressed and expanded outwards. It ruptured. Danzo cursed and dashed towards Naruto. Really? Hand to hand? Are you that desperate? Naruto said, dodging and weaving from Danzo's strikes. Naruto spliced Danzo's arm off and kicked him through the ceiling, literally, his head bursting through it. Naruto jumped upwards and tear the entire ceiling down. But this was not the ceiling to the outside world. There was many layers. This place was truly impressive. Danzo reappeared once again, and this time he hesitated, looking towards his arm. What's wrong? Where was the bravado earlier? The fact that you will control me and I didn't have a choice. Where is that? Danzo cursed under his breath as he activated his secret weapon. Enough fighting, he said. Don't you realize that, with your power along with ours, we will be truly unique? Perhaps you're right, said Naruto. Perhaps. My strength is better served worshipping Konoha. After all, it is my home. Danzo smiled. Yes, he said, as he slowly approached Naruto. Believing that things were going his, Danzo reappeared. His head was sliced off. How? How? He cursed, as he just used up the Kodama Tsukami for the day. It was supposed to manipulate his opponent's mind, giving him complete control. This genjutsu was the ultimate genjutsu. Without the victim being aware of what was going on, they wouldn't stand a chance. He didn't know, so how? How Danzo curse? You should know, controlling my mind is not that easy. After all, your friend died trying to do it, said Naruto. The nine-tailed fox was not just any normal beast anymore. Naruto's mind was powerful because the way it processed things, because of his eyes. That alone makes certain genjutsus useless against him. He could literally simply look through them. However, the beast that lurked within his entire existence, the beast wasn't just sealed inside of him anymore. He was a part of Naruto, a part of his core, a part of his existence. So trying to manipulate Naruto was a literal waste of time. And Danzo just realized that. He used everything, all of his trump card, and yet Danzo started to struggle with the arm. As it burst outwards, turning into branches. Rushing towards Naruto, he sliced and split them up. Danzo was gone, having broke off the connection and jumped down. He was running away. He was fleeing. Naruto looked down below. He held out his hand and started to bend the ear itself. One of his hands taking on the aspect of blue, the other one red. Naruto created a massive surge. The purple ball descended down below and eviscerated everything in its path, forcing Danzo to leap away, as a colossal trench was there. A trench that wasn't easy to cross because Danzo could not jump it. Naruto had circled him, reducing the entire ground floor to nothing but one singular platform that he landed on. Danzo was panicking. He was sweating. He was afraid. As he looked into those eyes, he could see it. He was going to die. He spent his life manipulating people, controlling people. He was never the one that was afraid. The only time he remembered that decision that made the third Hokage what he is today, when he willingly decided to be the one to be the sacrifice, while he could not bring himself to say to the second Hokage. And now, that feeling of dread, that feeling of terror, you don't have to do this. Words that he never hoped to ever say, they slipped from his mouth. He spoke like a coward, something that he himself despised, something that he himself hated with every fiber of his being. Naruto was stepping towards him. I can tell. You've always been the powerful, haven't you? Always been the one to stand on top. Always been the one to make others afraid. Never to be afraid. Covered up by your own insecurities. I mean, look at that hand that you had. Naruto said, stepping towards him. Have you ever stopped and wonder how the people felt? How the children felt that you put through hell? The ones that you had broken and thrown away because they did not meet your standards. And now you stand here, afraid, terrified because your actions have finally brought you some consequences. A lot of wicked people in this world believe they can get away with whatever they do because they have money and power. However, it's about time consequences is brought in a fold unlike any other. And I'm about to let you understand what the true definition of pain is. Naruto said as he brought his hand together. Domain expansion. Danzo's eyes widened. On the outside, an explosion happened as chaos ruled within the village of Konoha. The sand and the sound was attacking the village. But down below, time did not flow the same way it did within Naruto's domain. As for Danzo, he was dead. He was dead with a horrific, horrified look on his face. Like he saw death itself, and it scared him to ends that simply he couldn't understand. Naruto set his corpse ablaze, burning his final existence out of this world. Everything that he is, burning away into nothingness right in front of Naruto's eyes. Naruto made his way back to the surface. Arriving there, Naruto made his way as he saw the village being attacked. He stood there and watched, hopping from building to building, moving in. Naruto saw fire. He saw explosion. He saw death. He saw destruction. He saw a group of sound ninjas. As a kunai was thrown with an explosive tag, a group of Konoha citizens. The building was falling down on top of them. No shinobi close by. They were going to die. as Naruto saw the young, the old, the in-between. Time itself slowed down as the voice of the fox spoke. Well, isn't this interesting? Your morals are coming into question. You made it your way to save those that need help, especially children, to make sure that they don't suffer the way you did. But what do we have here? A child about to die. Then again, she is from Konoha. What will you do? Will you stand by and break your own word? Or will you step in and save her, despite the hell this village caused in your life? Tick-tock, tick-tock, the fox said in a rather mocking way, as Naruto gazed, perceiving things far beyond the normal human gaze as he saw the building support beams, the explosion destroying them, the people trying to get out of the way, the child falling down to the ground, along with a few others. Naruto watched as the building fell. Boom! It exploded into tiny pieces, so small that it was simply debris that fell around the child. The young girl looked up as she saw him. The sound ninjas, seeing that they were still alive, rushed in to eliminate as much as they could. However, they came to a stop, all 5 of them, as they saw Naruto. Make another step, and you're all going to die, he said very clearly. They looked at him, they looked at one another, and they made the worst choice. They decided to attack. They rushed in, weapons swinging. However, something was wrong, as Naruto was behind them. Their bodies then started to split apart slowly. Naruto sheathed his blade as they collapsed into a heap of piling humans remain. Naruto then took off, deciding to leave the village as the grown-ups grabbed the girl and ran away. Getting to safety, a few Konoha shinobis arriving. As Naruto was making his way, he picked up on something. A power that he felt once before. A power that he wanted to exterminate. Flashback. Orochimaru was thrown, breaking into the wall that was solid steel. Stepping inside of the room was Naruto. However, Naruto was pissed. You could see the curtain dripping from him. The power was fluctuating so much that the space around him was bending. It was because of the room that Naruto just went into. On the table was 50 plus children. Not a single one of them were breathing. An experiment went wrong. Naruto was following up on a lead that led him to a rather small island in the middle of nowhere nearby Kiri. He was 15 years old at the time before he lay waste to the daimyo's family. Naruto came across the utter destruction. The Sannin believed Naruto to be a weakling, intended to eliminate him, but Naruto snapped. Naruto wiped out the entire guard platoon that Orochimaru had here. There was over 12 scientists and 30 plus ninjas. The Sannin tried to escape but found himself unable to touch this thing. Yes, Orochimaru found himself unable to touch this thing. The more he powered up, the more Orochimaru did not believe that he was looking at a human. The Sannin did not know his name. He knew nothing about him. That is why, when he heard about the news in the coming future, Orochimaru was confused. But he indeed met Naruto before. Naruto was bloodlusted, raging, as he stepped inside Orochimaru, brought the entire building down. Fail-safe that were planted there. The Sannin split his body into hundreds of white snakes and fled. Naruto chopped almost 80% of him away, but several of them escaped. Naruto had stayed behind and give all of them a proper burial. No one deserved to be left like this, especially the innocent children. In the flashback, Naruto sped towards the massive, powerful seal. As he landed on the roof, immediately weapons were drawn and pointed towards him by the Anvus. However, he paid them no mind. They had no idea who he was. Until they saw his face. Descriptions have been going around. Naruto drew the blade and infused it with Kurton. He stabbed it into the ceiling barrier, shocking the Sound Four as the Kurton eat away at their ceiling art. They tried to close it back up, but Naruto jumped through. The Anvus tried to follow, but they powered up to their second stage and closed it back, using a bit more chakra than they wanted to use. Who the hell was that, they questioned. Naruto dashed from tree to tree, cracking them as he moved. His power started to explode outwards. Orochimaru and Hiruzen was going at it, the first and second there as well. Meanwhile, Jiraiya came to a stop as he felt it. The village felt it. The unbelievable power reeking from the dome. Many started to panic. Jiraiya raced towards the forest area. Unfortunately, he couldn't. He couldn't go after them right now. He couldn't go there because they had another situation. I am free, Shikaku yelled. Within the forest area, a battered Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, Kiba Inuzaka, Shino, and Shikamaru as well looked up towards a monstrosity. They were going to die, as Sai was running up the arm of Shikaku, being the one to push Gaara to go this far. However, Shikaku sent Sai through the foliage, breaking through trees like he was nothing. Inside of the little prison that was made for Hiruzen, the first and the second dived towards the third. As he heard the voice behind him, move. Instincts kicked in as he leaped out of the way. Both reanimated Hokage paused, but that was their undoing. As they looked up and saw it, so did Orochimaru. As Naruto pulled off one of his strongest technique, Calamity, Singularity. The most devastating creation from the Kurton. The Singularity target a location, shoot out and placed by Naruto as it landed right in the center. It started to suck all matter, energy within the range. Everything was being absorbed. Memories, contracts, spiritual anchors, even summons. Reanimations themselves, their bodies, the Edo Tensei, which was the first and second. Naruto wasn't an idiot. He could tell that something strange was going on because those two were supposed to be dead. The attack wasn't flashy, it wasn't loud. It was slow, but once you got caught, it was done. Orochimaru felt the connection vanish immediately, their souls returning back to where it was. Or perhaps it was just gone. The Sannin saw Naruto and dread immediately fill him. This man was a Sannin, named so by Hanzo, immensely powerful in his time, but looking at Naruto, he seemed to be terrified. I found you, said Naruto. This man has hid away from him for so long now. And finally, Naruto had the opportunity as he gazed at the man. Sweat started to fall down Orochimaru's face. A look of terror in his eyes, dread filling his heart. Remembering the last time they came face to face, he was quite certain who Naruto was. A couple hours after the news had broke, at first he wasn't, but the descriptions being untouchable. Yes, he was sure who he was. He never expected to see him here. The Hokage saw Naruto and spoke his name. Naruto? Be quiet, Naruto said, his voice sounding strange. Do you know how I found you? Naruto said, stepping towards Orochimaru. The Sannin was terrified. I knew that something was going on, but pinpointing your location was hard. But the islands that surrounded the one that you own, mothers, fathers, so much of them concerned about their children. I went to each and every one of them. I heard about their loss. I was sickened by what I heard. And then I saw the things that you did to those poor children. I single-handedly returned their corpse. None of them going past the age 5. I returned each and every one of them. I was there, helping them with the burial. Because I know that the not knowing would be worse for them. Not knowing if their child was alive or dead. Not even having a body to bury. But you made me question myself. You made me do things that put me in the public. Because I questioned myself on that day and wonder, are these people truly real? Or are they just some sick, twisted illusion that is placed on this earth to test me? So I step into the light. I slaughtered because they deserve to be slaughtered. And now, after all this time, I found you, said Naruto. Naruto looked around. And this time, you won't escape. This time, I'll make sure that you're dead. Orochimaru put a brave foot forward. What makes you think anything will change, or what makes you believe that this time you won't end up where did they go? That did it. As Naruto started to laugh. Yes, he started to laugh. The Sannin regurgitated his blade. Enma, who was standing there, Enma started to feel it. This is not right. Hiruzen snapped his gaze towards him. What are you talking about? Something is happening. It's him. That young man. This feeling, this sensation. This is wrong, Enma said. Feeling an unusual power. It wasn't physical. It was more spiritual. Him being a summoning creature himself. He was adapted to, well, many different things in many different ways. And Enma could feel it. As Naruto's laughter got louder and louder, the barrier started to crack. Shocking the sound for, Orochimaru looked around. As the whispers came, right within Naruto's ears. Finally, holding back so much rage was becoming a problem. How about we pick him apart, piece by piece, in revenge for what he did to those children? The fox whispered in Naruto's ears. Remember, the Kuritan turned the Nine-Tails into something else. He wasn't a demon fox anymore. He wasn't a tail beast anymore. He was a spiritual, cursed energy. Yes, but the power that he possessed had been magnified in ways that you couldn't understand. So when he allowed Naruto to truly utilize that power, what was gonna happen? Well, Naruto wasn't a Jinchuriki, so there was no tail beast form. There was no sage mode. There was simply an awakening. Yes. The visible changes start to be quite pronounced. Very, very pronounced. Naruto's hair grew longer, spiky. It turned black, just like the Kuritan energy. Yes. As it spiraled outwards, his skin started to crack. A void crack. Yes, the pitch void crack spreading through his skin, with blood red droplets inside of it like glass. His body trembled. The energy that surrounded him, affecting space itself. You could see most of Naruto techniques were focused on the attraction, repulsion, and the bending of space itself. But now, Everything had been magnified to levels that was truly, well, unacceptable by nature itself. His eyes, on the other hand, they never truly change. The 6 eyes, they start to glow brighter. As the color never dilute, it never changed. It just seemed to magnify the light. You could see the glowing of his eyes even in the pitch black darkness of nothingness. Focus only on one thing. Orochimaru could not escape his gaze. No speed, no teleportation could escape them. His eyes was fixed on Orochimaru, locked on him, the body that the fox possessed. That ghostly form, you could see the essence surrounding Naruto. When he stepped, it did not look like he moved. It looked like he simply appeared, almost like a ghost, shifting in and out of reality. The Nine Tails laughed as his power surged through Naruto, turning him into something that was, for the time, unnameable, because it had no true name, just a concept that wasn't supposed to exist. The 6 eyes techniques, everything about it was magnified to levels that one could truly not understand. Orochimaru prepared himself, sweating, his heart racing. A man that know no fear, but on this day, he seen something that sent dread into his heart. He seen something that made his legs shake. Finally, taking some acceptance for what you truly are. Maybe you will reach your true potential soon enough. The Nine Tails said, as there was a lot that the beast know that Naruto did not. There was a reason for all the question, a reason for all the nagging. As Naruto simply took this step to become something monstrous. Each time when Naruto was laying in the bodies and the blood of his victims, it was because of this transformation. This happened when he lost his cool, because you could not touch him due to his limitless, and you could not touch him because he became the aspect of what the fox is, a literal spiritual beast. He became something untouchable, something unmovable, something unstoppable. Naruto raised his hand and tear at Orochimaru. Despite the distance, space itself no longer bind Naruto's attacks. Orochimaru felt it as the blood gushed out of his throat. If it wasn't for his mutated body, that would have been his end. The Sannin jumped out of his own mouth, collapsing down to his knees, feeling a strange effect wash over him as he looked at his previous shedded skin. The neck area was ripped out. Orochimaru felt something as his hand brushed up against something, but yet he still did not touch Naruto physically. He looked up and saw those eyes. Him and Naruto were inches apart from one another. As he looked down, bending himself to look at Orochimaru. "What's wrong?" Naruto said with a smile, as you could see the changes from the amplification of rage and the power of the Nine Tails. Not having fun? But guys, me and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.